It is episode 30 of Origin PC Live. Let's do this. Hey guys, welcome to Origin PC Live, episode 30. My name's Alexis Roselle, community lead at Origin PC.
And I'm Tom Cackling, the events and partnership coordinator at Origin PC. I'll be doing my best to fill Kevin's shoes this week.
You're gonna do fine, bud.
We'll see.
Quick recap for new viewers of Origin PC Live. It's a show where we talk about the latest in gaming, geek news, what we're up to, and we're going to chat it up with a special guest. This week's special guest is none other than our good friend, Mr. LevelCap, who we'll be talking with later on in the show.
Awesome. So you can interact with us by You can interact with us by posting in chat or making comments. We'll be watching your feedback and responses. Later on in the show, we'll be answering any questions you have and announcing the winner of the post of the week. We'll be winning a copy of Shroud of the Avatar.
Shroud of the Avatar. Let's kick off the show. Our first story is all about Fortnite. Besides the mobile beta launch on iOS this week, allowing players to play on their phones, the game was prominently featured on a record-breaking Twitch stream on Ninja's channel. During that particular stream, Ninja played with none other than Drake himself, Travis Scott, and Juju Smith-Schuster. I always have such a hard time saying his name. The super group of Fortnite players attracted at once around 635,000 viewers. That's insane. Breaking the record for most viewers on an individual stream. The actual most viewers record on any channel is 1.1 million concurrent viewership on the 2018 CSGO finale. Yeah, the grand finals, the E-League one. Also this week, Epic released an update to the game, including remote explosives and supply llama piñatas. Xbox players can now play with PC and mobile players for some crazy cross-platform action. Tom, what do you think about this exciting Fortnite news?
Well, honestly, I mean, the numbers are impressive alone. It's interesting to see when someone with a certain level of celebrity goes across any sort of platform, the incredible amount of followers and viewers that they can get at a moment's notice. Aside from that, as far as the changes in the game, I've always been excited for anything that's cross-platform, PC and console. You always have that issue of, is it going to be keyboard and mouse having an advantage over sticks, things like that, and now you're throwing mobile into the mix. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how it pans out.
I'm always kind of curious how a game like Fortnite would work on a phone. Like, yeah. It's going to be rough. Like, I feel bad for those mobile players, to be honest. I think they're going to get housed. Unless someone out there is really, really good. Pretty exciting to have Drake on a stream, though. I wonder if he'd now realize what a big, giant meme he is in the Twitchverse. Because all the stuff that came out after was hilarious. But that's pretty cool, man. I love seeing...
I'm sure he's pretty used to that. He's a meme with everything, just about.
Yeah, exactly. I love seeing like how big Twitch is taking off, and just a streaming platform in general. Mixer itself is humongous, but you know, it's a brand new streaming service, so it's getting there. But just the fact that you have a celebrity of that caliber come on a stream with some streamer that he follows and just boost the numbers to this incredible amount. I wonder if these guys were even expecting that. I think that's pretty exciting stuff. What's next in the news?
Oh, so for the next story, there's a surprise new fighter on the upcoming Soul Calibur 6, which will be releasing for PC later this year. Geralt of Rivia will be joining the roster of the fighting game, armed with 2 swords, potions, and magic, and will clash with the Soul Calibur cast. Geralt's inclusion continues Soul Calibur's tradition of including guest characters from different franchises, which honestly is always a treat for me. I love when franchises mix together, whether it's movies, games, anything like that. What do you think about it?
I love The Witcher, I love Geralt, and I love Soul Calibur, so I'm pretty much sold on this. I think he's a perfect inclusion for a game like this, where it's like, you know, there's already weapons involved, and he's such a cool character that has so many special features. I think it's an awesome idea. I saw the screen caps of him in the game, and it looks incredible.
I need to check this out.
I think it's going to be really, really cool. I'm so excited about Soul Calibur. It's the one fighting game I've ever been good at. And when I saw them launch it, I was like, oh, this is going to be pretty awesome. And the fact of throwing Geralt in now, I mean, that's sick. What do you think?
I'm pretty excited. Pretty much everything you just mentioned. Soul Calibur's always been one of my favorites as far as fighting games go. And it's Geralt, man.
Geralt, baby! Now for some Origin PC news. The Intel Rig Challenge has returned, and we're going to be participating in it. We are participating in it. We've launched the first video, which you can find on our YouTube page, you can find on our Twitter right now. We started working on a new Extreme Rig powered by the Intel Core i9-7980XE CPU, an Intel Optane SSD 900P, and the Asus ROG Strix X299XE motherboard, all housed in our brand new Millennium case. You can also enter for a chance to win our Extreme Rig, plus a ton of other prizes. All you have to do is tweet on Twitter. That's where you do your tweeting at, for those new social media friends out there. Just put my hashtag, I did that, Intel Rig Challenge vote is for @OriginPC. You'll also be entered for a chance to win bi-weekly prizes, including Oculus Rift headsets. Without revealing too much, Tom, what do you think about this year's Intel Rig Challenge?
Honestly, I'm pretty excited for it. I mean, obviously, as events coordinator, I've been to the PAXs where they've had that and they've hosted that before.
Yeah.
I think it's a really cool and super fun way to get the different system integrators involved and get them to kind of think outside of the box, think of something really cool.
Yeah.
And Intel's done a really good job of kind of tweaking and taking feedback and just kind of streamlining it and keeping it interesting every year. I
know every year it changes, and this year they've really like nailed it down. The contest itself is a ton of fun for us because we get to do something crazy that we don't normally offer. I don't know if you guys remember, but last year we did a 2-in-1 PC and our Genesis. We're not doing that this year. We're not going to do it 3 years in a row. But we did a 2-in-1, and our side panels had like video screens on it. It was crazy. But it's stuff like that we don't normally do. Normally we're building super high-end systems, but they're not. We don't go to that next level of insanity like we do with the Intel rig. So when this stuff comes around, it's super exciting for us because that's our bread and butter, is just building something extreme and crazy. And this year it's going to be pretty beautiful. I think we're going for beauty more than anything else, and it's a spectacular system. I can't wait to show you guys more. The video number 2 comes out April 15th, I want to say. I think around that time, or maybe a little bit later. But it's going to be around that time, and that video is going to be focusing on the CPU and all that stuff. It's going to be pretty awesome, but go ahead and check it out. You can either go to our page, which is on our Twitter page right now, or you can just vote for us. You can vote daily. Voting daily for us includes more entries in the competition, so more chances to win. And only vote for us if you want us to win. I'm assuming you do if you're sitting here in chat. So vote by doing my Intel Rig Challenge. Vote is for @OriginPC, hashtag Intel Rig Challenge. Up next.
So, kicking off our geek news is a mix of geek and gaming news with Jeff Goldblum being featured in the upcoming Jurassic World Evolution game releasing later on this year. Jeff Goldblum will be playing the iconic Dr. Ian Malcolm, one of my favorite roles, by the way, by Jeff Goldblum, reprising his role from Jurassic Park movies in the upcoming sequel to Jurassic World, rather. Goldblum himself rated the game 10 Goldblums out of 10 Goldblums.
That's a lot of Goldblums.
I would kill for just one, to be honest with you. So that is pretty amazing. I mean, what do you think about him being in the game?
Life finds a way. I love Jeff Goldblum. I love Jeff Goldblum. I love Jurassic Park. I think it's awesome that he's reprising his role for a video game. Just the fact that we get to experience Jeff Goldblum in a video game. That's so cool. He's such a great voice actor. I love listening to his voice. He's a hilarious dude. And he's like blowing up more and more lately just because of like the comedic value of his serious roles. So it's gonna be pretty sweet. I'm super excited about that. Congrats to Jeff and congrats to the Jurassic Park team.
Has he ever done any audiobook work? I would love to have him just read me a bedtime story.
I'm sure he has, and we should probably research that because I think
doing that later
pretty awesome. It would be awesome if you read like a Dr. Seuss novel. That'd be pretty amazing. Our final geek news story is about the reveal for a massive movie marathon that will be hosted by AMC Theaters in preparation for Avengers Infinity Wars. AMC will be hosting a 31-hour movie marathon. This is the beginning to end of all the Avengers series, all the Marvel movies, starting with Iron Man 1 and ending with Avengers Infinity Wars. Tickets are now available for anyone daring enough to sit through 31 hours of film. Good luck, friends. But that's awesome because it's all set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. A new Avengers trailer also dropped today. Go check it out. It was lovely. I watched it probably more times than I'm willing to admit, but that's pretty sweet. What do you think about this movie marathon, Tom?
Count me in, honestly, man.
What?
Yeah. I will be there in my Redskins onesie. I'm wearing my neck pillow, sit right in the front.
The neck pillow is a must, probably.
Yeah, and just bring a ton of caffeine.
I
missed out on a few
movies.
It out. Yeah, no, actually, I hope they go right through it. I'm behind on a few of the movies. Mm-hmm. You know, I like to binge things, so I think this is a really good opportunity for people like myself who like to binge to go catch up and see the new film.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. I don't know if I could sit through 31 hours of film. I can barely sit through 3 hours of film.
Yeah, true.
If they allow, I'm sure they're gonna do like maybe 10-minute breaks in between movies, or maybe like a big long break in between after a set of movies. But that's insane. I mean, 31 hours. That's pretty cool, though, for a humongous Marvel fan. That's going to be pretty sweet. Yeah. So up next, we got recent releases.
Special shout-outs, by the way, to Blue Microphones for these incredible mics you're using. I hope they're helping me sound pretty good.
Pretty nice.
But kicking off the recent release is Surviving Mars. It's available on PC and other platforms. It's a simulation game where you create and build a Mars colony, manage resources, finances, and solve Mars-related problems as you grow your colony.
Nice.
This sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, this seems right up my alley. I love games like this. Is this like a? I wonder if this is a CGI trailer, if that's going to be how the
Actual
game
gameplay.
looks. If it's gameplay, that's pretty sweet. I love games like this, man. It's kind of just reminds like any city building or stuff like that. Games like that where you have to do resource management. It's a lot of fun. That's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. How many times I'm going to say pretty sweet during this stream? Can anyone keep a tally? Also releasing this week is Kirby Star Allies on the Nintendo Switch. Play as Kirby in a new adventure where you can buddy up with enemies instead of eating them. There's 4-player co-op, so you and 3 other friends can play the campaign at the same time. Pretty sweet. Just kidding. This game looks like a lot of fun. I love the Kirby world. I love the Kirby universe. The Nintendo Switch is killing it lately with these co-op games and these fun games. This looks like a lot of fun. This is something we can play together, maybe?
I think it's time for me to finally
get the Nintendo Switch.
Switch.
Well, Naruto's coming out. I know you've been wanting to play that Naruto game. Definitely. Naruto! Which something got spoiled for me today, and I'm very upset. I'll talk to you about it later.
So also, finally, Cube 2 is now available on PC and other platforms. Navigate a mysterious alien world and solve puzzles in first person using your special suit to manipulate objects and the environment.
This looks interesting.
This looks beautiful.
That kind of reminded me of Myst.
Yeah. It
Nice.
is just a gorgeous game, though.
I never played Cube 1. I don't think I did. I think I've heard of it, though. Yes, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure we did a giveaway for it, actually, a while back. This looks awesome. This probably like Portal, right? Maybe Portal mixed with a little bit of Myst. Very cool. Up next is Blatant Plug of the Week. This is where we plug ourselves, as if we're not doing that enough. The March promo has launched, has been around for quite some time. Today's your lucky upgrade day. Purchase any gaming desktop or gaming laptop and get free US ground shipping, a free digital key for Far Cry 5 with select Samsung SSDs or AMD RX Vega 64 CPUs, a game that I am very excited about, a free $60 Neverwinter in-game pack, free $100 Try on World in-game credit, or a free digital Steam key, and a free digital Steam key for Shroud of the Avatar. Friends, do you have Discord? I hope you do. Discord's an amazing program where you can chat with your friends, talk via voice, talk via text, share pictures, share ideas. It's a ton of fun. And guess who has their own channel? These guys. I'm pointing to myself right now, but you can't see it because this is up on screen. You can join the fun at discord.gg/originpc. We're going to be doing some exclusive giveaways in there. We chat about PC hardware. We chat about games. We try to play games together. At least I try desperately to get people to play games with me. So far, not successful, but I'm hoping that changes in the future. The PewDiePie giveaway has launched. This is a custom UV textured print. This is our new thing that we have not launched yet, but you guys have seen a bit of it via CES and our live builds that we've done recently. We textured printed this custom PewDiePie branded. You're going to actually feel that bro fist, people. And it's worldwide. This is an awesome thin and light gaming laptop. It's the ones we use here on the show. It has a 1060 in it, a 7700 HQ, 16 gigabytes of RAM, a ton of memory. Check it out, www.originpc.com/PewDiePie. You can also type !giveaway in chat right now, except for our Facebook friends. I'm sorry, Facebook friends, but Mixer and Twitch, you guys can type that in and you'll see the link pop up. You can just click it. And we touched on this earlier. The Extreme Rig Challenge is now live. You could vote for us by tweeting my hashtag Intel Rig Challenge. Vote is with @OriginPC. Again, you can vote every single day for more entries. And this is awesome because you not only have the chance to win PCs, but you also have the opportunity to win Oculus Rift headsets. That's a blast. Check it out. Check it out. Up next.
And now it is time for, honestly, one of my favorite segments of the show, Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat, where we talk about the games that we've been playing recently.
A real fan over
here. Yeah, man. This segment is sponsored by Origin PC Gear Shop, where you can get your own Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeat shirt. Very comfortable, by the way. Very popular. Alexis, what are you Eat, Sleep, Game, Repeating?
Right now, I am playing Rift on the new Rift Prime servers. I haven't visited Rift actually since the launch, so this is very familiar for me because it's starting off in vanilla. You're playing with me. Mm-hmm. It's a progression server. So what that means is they started off before any of the expansions came out. You play your characters as normal. As the server progresses, and I think they're trying to stick true to the timeline. Oh, right over my face, please, yes. They're trying to stick true to the timeline. They're going to keep releasing the expansions and all the neat features that came with them. But it's a blast. The server is extremely populated. There's a ton of people on there. There's actually a queue on some of during prime time at nights. So that shows how massive it is. I'm having a ton of fun with it. The game is so polished now. The good part about it, although it starts off like vanilla, it still has all the quality of life features and all the neat game features that happen with all the updates and expansions that happen down the line. The only thing they aren't releasing is the content. So they're holding off on releasing the expansion raids, some of the classes, until those release in the server. But I'm having a blast with it. What's cool too is they released all the stuff in the cash shop that kind of helped you progress. So it's not pay to win in a sense. You pay your monthly subscription, and everything else is, cosmetic items. I think you get like voices for the battlegrounds, which we're having a blast in PvP. We're getting our butts kicked, but it's a ton of fun. But the game itself is amazing. I recommend you guys try it out if you ever liked Rift, if you were ever into Rift. Give it another whirl, and message me so you can carry me in dungeons. That's koozie.
Please, we need that. We need all the help we can get.
What are you doing?
Aside from trying to keep up with you in levels on Rift, because I haven't been logging in lately, really cool game that we started playing recently is The Hunt. The Hunt Showdown, yeah. It's honestly unlike any game I've ever played. It's not what I expected originally. At first I thought it was going to be kind of like a battle royale type game, but yes, please block me. But essentially, it's you have 5 teams of 2, or you can even queue solo. You go in. There are objectives like collecting bounties, where you can get money, experience to help build up your character.
Right.
It is somewhat unforgiving, which I like. I like punishment in my games.
Very
where if you die, you lose your character, but you still keep your bloodline experience, which helps you level up your actual account. But the cool thing about it is you can essentially jump in and jump out whenever you want. You don't have to get the objectives. You can go in, PvP a little bit, get your experience, get out of the game. And one of my favorite things is the sound. The sound in that game plays such a huge part.
That's huge.
Gunshots you can hear from across the map. If you step on glass, it alerts the people around you. And it's very accurate.
Even when you walk in puddles, you can hear people walking in puddles. You can hear the crows.
Mm-hmm.
When there's like little areas where there's like crows chilling, and if you don't sneak by them, they get alerted and fly away. So if you see that in the distance, there's another group there. What's cool is that every group in the map is after the same objective, so you're essentially competing against each other, which is where the PvP comes in.
Yeah.
The game's a blast. That's really cool. And it also scares the crap out of us.
Yes. And then there you also have the choice. Like, let's say you can wait for someone to get the objective and then just kill them and take it, so you don't have to fight the actual boss.
Yeah. I see someone in chat was asking what server we're playing Rift on. We're playing on the Rift Prime server. There's only one.
Yeah, I think it's Vigil. Is that the name of it?
Probably. So Rift Prime's a separate thing from Rift. You can't actually get on that server through Rift. I think it's the same client, but on the Tryon launcher, the Glyph launcher, you can see Rift Prime now. It should be available. What do we got next? I totally lost place because we were having such a good time. Hunt Showdown. It's awesome. Check it out. Speaking of check it out, up next is check this out. Thank you to Elgato for providing the Stream Deck and capture card in our streaming PC. Much love to those guys. They just sent us that 4K 60 Pro capture card, which we're going to be using very soon when we upgrade our streaming PC. Yeah, so in Check This Out, we talk about anything we've been checking out. This includes movies, TV, music, tech, gadgets, apps, software, etc. Tom, what have you been checking out?
Honestly, I've been checking out a new piece of music equipment called the Machine MK3. I'm a little reluctant because I'm an Akai fanboy.
Yeah.
And I'm finally breaking that out. I know you've been kind of poking me for over a year now to get my music equipment back out.
We need to make music together.
So hopefully over the weekend I'll get that going and see what we can do.
That's pretty sweet. So what is it, like a MIDI controller?
Yeah, essentially. It has quite a bit more features than the Akai. It's a little more standalone than the MPD I have. The MPD is USB, plug it in, you patch in the sounds, all that.
So you can put like whatever sounds you want basically in the thing, or is that? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty sweet, man. That's awesome.
And you can actually control the loops and create the music on there as well. So it's
we can make some
really
sweet music.
Plus it lights up.
Oh yeah, anything that has RGB, I'm already sold. So I've been checking out this bad boy right here, the Digi Osmo Mobile 2. So what this is a gimbal but for your phone. So we do a lot of content creation here. Hold on, as I power it up. Hopefully it'll adjust by itself. Ooh, there it is. So this thing, what it is so you can record and keep everything stable. You see how I'm moving it around, but the phone's kind of staying still. It also has a little joystick right here, which you can slide to make the camera go left or right or up or down. It's awesome for creating content, for filming things. This is something I'm going to use at events. So you guys have seen our events videos when we go to PAX or E3 or any of the events that we go to. We normally film it, and it normally comes out super shaky because I'm full of Red Bull and I'm holding the phone with my hands. But now I can be shaking, and this should stay at least somewhat still, or at least much better than before. But this thing's super handy. We filmed our Intel Rig Challenge video with it. It's awesome. I love everything Digi puts out. I first learned of Digi when I got my first drone. It was through them, and this is really, really sweet, man. I love it. I
remember seeing it for the first time at last year's PAX West.
Yeah.
And was just totally stricken by it. It was really, really cool. Are you filming right now?
No, I'm not. I just saw Joe Rogan DM'd us back.
Oh, wow. Wow.
I'll tell him. Oh, my God. All right, sorry. I'm freaking out. Okay. Where are we? It's now time for a short break. After the break, we're going to be chatting it up with LevelCap Gaming, so do not go anywhere. He will be on he'll be right here in video, and it's going to be a ton of fun. We'll see you guys in a bit. New guest to this. Welcome back and shout out to Intel for powering our streaming rig. It's time to talk with LevelCap. You can find LevelCap playing and talking all sorts of first-person shooter games on YouTube and Twitch, including several videos on the Battlefield franchise and different FPS games. LevelCap has been making videos on YouTube for about 6 years or so. That's crazy. And has attained 1.8 million subscribers on his channel. He's also been a longtime member of the Origin PC family. LevelCap, my friend, how are you doing this Friday?
Good, man. How are you guys doing?
Doing great,
Excited
man.
to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. I'm sure you're a very, very busy man, you know, putting out all those videos. We just had a couple questions for you.
We all just play video games all day.
Yeah.
You know,
We loved your video today, man.
themselves.
Your video today was awesome.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with you guys on Hunt Showdown, by the way.
Yeah.
Loving
Oh, yeah.
that game. I
Actually,
wish
just saw
more
your video
people. I
recently.
want to tell more people about it. But like it needs to grow a little bit. I think
Yeah.
before like mainstream will get into it. But it's fun, man. I love sneaking around and just headshotting people.
Yeah,
It's a
that's.
good
I think that whole sound aspect that they added to it, where you can really like hear your enemies. Like there's different things that can make you alert your enemies. So me and this guy are just sneaking around the entire time, like trying to be super
Yeah.
careful. It's such a cool game. I think they really knocked it out of the park.
The best part about that also
Yeah.
is you never know how many people are left. So for all we know, we're creeping around in the
I
bushes
know.
and there's
Yeah,
no one there.
yeah. We could be all by ourselves.
Dude, I played a 45-minute long game, killed like 6 or 7 people,
What?
killed the boss, walked out of the boss lair and got headshotted by like some
Oh,
dude
wow.
that was just in a bush the whole time. It's just-
See, you never know how many people are in there.
I know, you never know what's going on, man.
All right, so to get to it, first question is, have you been enjoying Battlefield 1 now that the game's been out for over a year?
Battlefield 1's made a lot of progress since launch. I'm like an old warhorse of the Battlefield like generation. Like I've played every game, and I think my favorite ones are like Bad Company 2, BF3, BF4.
Sure.
Like those nailed it for me. Battlefield 1 was a bit of a transition for me, and I don't quite agree with some of the balance changes they've made.
Right.
But from what the game launched as to what it is now, it's come a really long way. So people are always asking me like, is it worth getting Battlefield 1? I still think it's like an absolutely excellent game, but when stacked up against some of my favorite Battlefield games, I wouldn't consider it like in my top 3 or anything.
Awesome, man.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
The game, yeah. I haven't played it for a while, and really it's because when I watch your videos, I'm like, I'm never gonna get this good, so I kind of give up. But the game's a blast. I still jump on every now and again just to get my butt kicked. But that's the problem with those games is when you take that little bit of a break, you come back and these people have been playing the entire time that you've been taking a
Yeah.
break. So everyone's so much better than you are. But they keep adding cool stuff. That's pretty sweet. So the Apocalypse DLC came out recently. Any thoughts on that so far?
Yeah, well, so the Apocalypse is the final DLC for the game. They also just recently announced that they're adding a whole bunch of new weapons to the game, which is like for anyone. I think it's actually for people who have the premium side of Battlefield, but
Right.
so it means that they're continuing adding content to the game. Sadly, the Apocalypse DLC was rushed. I think they were trying to pull those devs off of Battlefield 1 as fast as they could to throw them on to Battlefield 2018.
Yeah.
That's usually what they do, and I think they just didn't time it too well this time because people were like, why are you releasing this DLC like a month after the one you just released? And then there was like 6-month period between like other DLCs, and you're like, this is super weird. And it's like, and then sure enough, the DLC came out and it wasn't really finished. Like that, you could tell there's parts of it that need some work. So I think it's probably the weakest of all the 4 DLCs so far.
Yeah.
That being said, I really like some of the map design. I just think they need to kind of like get Conquest as a game mode in there to make it play better. But yeah, there's some cool maps, man, like walking through the wheat fields and stuff with like
awesome.
trenches integrated in there. So it's like the like wheat grew up after they dug the trenches in and stuff. So you get this like weird new mixture of trench warfare. And then they have another map that's like just muddy and rainy and just like it's that iconic trench warfare that you probably thought a World War I game would look like. And that one's pretty cool because that's just like pure chaos, and like it really gives you what I think a lot of people were expecting a World War I game to be.
Yeah.
So it's got pros and cons, but still kind of the weakest of the 4 DLCs so far.
That's cool. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right, though. I'm pretty sure they just pulled the team to get them working on the next one. Hopefully the next one's going to be sweet. I can't wait for that. I love the Battlefield launches. They're so
Yeah.
good.
Speaking of
Yeah,
the next
excited. I think we'll find out in June.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So speaking of the next one, with the new game coming out this year, do you have a wish list of any features that you would like to see in the game?
Oh man, how long's the show? Can we
Go for it, man.
Yeah, about 3 hours. I did a video on this like maybe a month or 2 ago, and it turned most of my wish list is sort of like rather than like, oh, I want this feature and that feature and this feature, it's sort of like, okay, you guys added so much to the game that I think is like almost detracting from the gameplay. I want them to pull back and reanalyze some of the changes they've made, and like it's mostly modifying the gunplay and grenade play and behemoth play right now, because even for somebody who's a veteran and been playing the heck out of Battlefield games forever, I got hundreds of hours in a BF1, I can spawn in and just die to any random player at any moment because of the insane power of grenades and the insane power of like behemoths and stuff like that. So I'd love them to kind of like pull back on the massive feature list that they always try and include, because they're like trying to compete with COD and stuff. So it's got to have like 100 new features and like all this stuff, and rather focus on designing game modes really specifically for maps, really making the game modes feel well balanced, and like they spend a lot of time, rather than having 10 game modes on every single map and none of them feeling quite right. So that's my main wish list for it, is to just really find a good balance between gunplay, grenade play, and vehicle play, and focus on a few game modes rather than like a whole bunch of game modes. Genre-wise, I don't really care. I think I would prefer modern combat. There's been a lot of leaks and rumors of it being World War II, but they're all kind of coming from two YouTubers that know each other, so it could just be a big hoax.
Yeah,
you never know. I'd be fine with World War II as long as it's balanced well. I mean, that's where I started playing Battlefield, so I got a lot of nostalgic memories of like Battlefield 1942.
Yeah, same here.
I love that game.
Yeah, in all honesty, World War II is probably one of the most impressive theaters of war in terms of what you can do with the battles and stuff. So it could be epic if they do it right.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for too. Battlefield 1942 is my first Battlefield, probably one of my first FPS games that I played like heavily. So I'm on the same boat. I hope it is. I mean, but even if it isn't, I think it's going to be a spectacular game. But you're right. I think the fact that if it would be World War II, they have so much to do.
Right.
If they just like basically did 1942 again, the way they had it, I think that would be really, really cool.
Yeah, they could just remake 1942 and I'd be happy with that. But
Me
it's
too.
like they integrated the naval combat in BF1, and that could just be a precursor of testing out ship combat for Battlefield World War II or something, because they had that in 1942. It's funny that they're like adding in features now. It's like, we had that in the first game. Like, how many years ago? 2003 or something? Like,
Yeah.
just like so long ago. So it's like people are like losing their minds. I'm like, we had like a battleship in the first game, guys. You could control it and just like blow people off of Iwo Jima and watch their like little bodies go flying through the air. Like, that's not balanced, but it's a Battlefield game.
But it's fun, right?
And to touch on what you mentioned earlier, I'm sure that's with devs, they walk that fine line all the time of trying to add all these features to kind of keep up with other games, but at the same time keep everything polished. I'm sure it's a hard thing to balance.
For sure.
You got to market it too. That's
Yeah.
you can't market refinement, right?
Right.
It's hard to put that in a trailer and be like, we've pulled back on the content and features, and now it's just refined gameplay. People are like, what? But you show a behemoth, like a giant airship, raining down destruction and then crashing in the middle of the map and destroying the map. People are losing their minds. And then like a month into the game, you're like, this mechanic is actually kind of ruining the game mode right now. But you know what? It sells titles. So it's that hard balance between making a good game and selling a good game,
Sure.
So
So besides Battlefield, you also do a couple of PUBG videos. What are your thoughts on PUBG and the Battle Royale genre as a whole?
like, I love the battle royale concept. I think PUBG's just sort of brought it into the spotlight. H1Z1 was trying to do it, but it was like this cartoony third-person game, and not everybody was getting on board. All of a sudden, PUBG threw the realism aspect in there, and everybody was like, whoa, this concept is amazing and great. I got on board with it. I think it's a great game mode. I think, like we're seeing with Hunt Showdown, that it can be modified and become more fun or add totally different aspects to it. There's a new game announced like a day or two ago called Scavengers, being developed by ex-Halo and Battlefield devs. That
really?
is integrating PvP and PvE in the same way. And it looks really cool. And they're using some of that Mavericks engine technology, which is, they're calling it, I forgot, something iOS, which is like using multiple servers to run one game environment.
Mm-hmm.
So like with Mavericks, they're doing a 400-player battle royale, and they're claiming that it's not only going to get better FPS and better netcode than like PUBG, but the graphics are going to be better. It's going to have environmental destruction on the level of Battlefield games. There'll be deers and rabbits running around. You'll be able to create trails in the grass so other players can track you based on where you've gone.
That's amazing.
Like,
that's
the
really
stuff
cool.
that they're claiming they can do with it is amazing. So I'm like, if you can do that, this is going to be the best game ever. But we're sort of like holding out, waiting. There's been a lot of a lot of big talk from devs, to hype people up for it. But if they can deliver half the stuff they talked about, it could be amazing. So I love the genre. I think PUBG has a long way to go. And to be honest, with the direction and the speed at which the devs have been going, I don't think they fully get their own game. And I think that the hardcore players want something different from what the developers are delivering. And I think as soon as a game like Mavericks comes along, it's going to be like an H1Z1 scenario where everybody just jumps ship. And they're like, this game does everything we want but better. Buy PUBG. And so I think they're kind of missing what like gamers like me want from it, or a lot of other people do. And you're sort of seeing it with Fortnite now. It's like a cartoony game that doesn't have that realism to it, but it's got a better engine, it's the same engine, but a better optimized engine, better netcode, and people are jumping ship for that game. Not that PUBG's in any trouble right now, but I think games like Mavericks will really like throw them for a loop there, because I think Mavericks is going to be modern military type environment as well.
Really cool.
Yeah, definitely need to check that out. Scavengers too.
Yeah, Scavengers also. Do you think so? You know how it's getting so popular? Everyone's talking about kind of doing their own Battleground version. Do you think Battlefield will ever delve into that?
I think they will. Yeah. They've kind of dropped some hints. Like, I think it was the CEO or CFO or somebody in like one of their big investors meeting said like, we're very aware of the battle royale format, and so are like the Battlefield devs. So it's sort of like, okay, like they're very aware. I think it's such an easy game mode to integrate into Battlefield because they've already got a game that supports 64 players. They've got huge maps. They've got vehicles. They've got 50 to 100 weapons in any Battlefield game. You've got all the tools right there. Making the game mode, you could make a prototype of that in a few weeks, with some good devs. So for them not to just experiment and throw it in and see if it works, I think would be like a huge mistake. So I think we'll be seeing it in the next Battlefield game. That's my guess from just a business standpoint. It would be dumb not to. Awesome. And then there's rumors that the next COD game is also going to be messing around with it too, Black Ops 4. So
I'd imagine that most companies are catching on that this is kind of something really cool that people enjoy. I mean, when you look at the charts now, it's Fortnite, PUBG all the time. Before that, it was H1Z1 all the time. I'm sure that
H1Z1 lost 90% of their player base, man. It's crazy.
They're still pretty big in the esport community. From what I'm hearing, I mean, they got that TV deal recently where they did that tournament on TBS or whatever. And there's still an esports team that are chomping at the bits at that game. But I think it's more popular in that realm than it is just as a general game for people to play.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do, with esports especially. Games go up and down, It's like Counter-Strike, 5-6 years ago was had 50,000 concurrent players. Now it's like 700,000. So, I mean, that game's been around forever, but you just don't know when it's going to explode or like people are going to lose interest. Right. So we'll see.
To go back earlier on something you mentioned, you mentioned that you've been doing videos for about 6 years now. How's that journey been?
Been good, man. I mean, the YouTube game is a grind. It's fun. It's a lot of work. I think on the surface, you look at people and like, oh, they're just playing games and throwing videos up online. But really, it's mostly editing, mostly producing, mostly research, writing. If you're trying to get help with other people, it's like managing and working with other people. So it's been really fun. The most rewarding job I've ever had. Hopefully I can keep doing it for as long as I can. And it like just opens up all these cool opportunities, with like expanding ideas. And what I really like is producing content a lot. So like I started a second channel for Lego stuff, and like it's been really fun producing that, where I'm not quite as involved on the ground level, but I get to make like bigger production decisions and stuff. And so that's been like a really fun way for me to exercise some creative freedoms outside of my gaming channel and stuff. Loving the gaming stuff, man. I'm getting a little bit more into streaming these days, which is cool. Which is fun. Less work on the streaming side of things for sure. Enjoying just playing games and interacting with the community. But yeah, it's fun. It's weird though, man. Like you got to weather the all the like things that happen on YouTube and Twitch and the policy changes and the algorithm changes, and you're just sort of like, after a while you realize that you don't have as much control over of your channel as you thought you might. And it's like one algorithm changes and all of a sudden your content's not being pushed by YouTube as much as it used to anymore. And you're like, okay, like I don't know what they changed. I don't know what I need to change, but so you just kind of roll with the punches and adapt. But it's been fun, man. It's been good. And now I got a kid, so it's like integrating fatherhood and YouTubing and streaming all together. It's become like
That's awesome.
another
Congrats.
challenge and whatnot, but it's fun.
So you were talking about this earlier. So you do a lot of research to basically decide what sort of content you put out on your channel?
Sort of like research in terms of, like if I'm thinking about like a cool concept or like, what's the future of like a battle royale genre or something like that. You research where it began, research what's in the works right now, popular trends and stuff like that. So yeah, tons of research for videos. I don't just do gameplay uploads, but I'll do tutorial videos or like speculation videos, in-depth speculation videos on like where the industry is going to go, or like why gaming companies are making certain decisions, or talking about the loot crate situation right now and the legislation behind that, and like pros and cons of legality of all that stuff. And so yeah, just like research as any sort of reporter might do.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you keep making videos for a very long time, because you helped me to learn how to play games. So I appreciate that.
Thanks, man.
So with your videos, actually, you interact with your fans a lot in the comments. Could you talk about that fan interaction?
Yeah, sure. I mean, so I like streaming because you get that real-time fan interaction. People can ask you questions, you can answer them in real time, see their response. YouTube comments is a different environment, to say the least. It's usually a contest to see who can say the most controversial thing and then get upvoted to the top. So if you start reading your comments in terms of most voted to least voted, it's sort of just like all these crazy things that people are saying, and it feels a little bit less personal. So I don't do as much interaction in the comments of my YouTube videos, but I think YouTube could learn a lot from platforms like Twitch, where people who are subscribed to you for a while could get a different badge or something like that. That way you can kind of start recognizing people, or maybe subscribers get promoted to the top of the chat and you can start interacting with your community in a better way. I'm surprised they haven't implemented those features, especially considering that YouTube's put a big emphasis on streaming and stuff like that. But I think some work could be done to make community engagement a lot better on YouTube. At the moment, it's sort of like I usually am more of just a moderator in the comments, like, okay, delete these hateful things and like answer any questions or like things that I might have forgotten to say in the video or something like that.
Awesome. So do you have any advice or tips for anyone wanting to make YouTube videos today?
Man, it is. I mean, it's a lot harder to get into the game today, but one thing that I've seen is a surefire way of building a channel with an audience is dedicating yourself to a new or upcoming game that's coming out. For example, Mavericks. If that game is as big as I think it could be, if it delivers even on half of what they say they're going to, if you establish yourself as somebody like Datto does Destiny, where he established himself around Destiny before that game came out, you can grow with that game and build a channel around it. And I think that's one of the best, most surefire ways to launch a YouTube channel. That and be insanely good at gaming. That helps a lot. It's like I was talking do you guys know Choco Taco? He streams a bunch of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. So I was talking with him when he had a few hundred subs, and he's insanely good, and I could tell from the start that he was going to be big. And so we were playing together, and he helped me make some tutorial videos on it, and then he just exploded, and that's because he's got a likable personality and he's insanely good at the game. So you kind of got to figure out what's your niche. Do you have a really funny personality? Are you insanely good at games? Are you willing to put in an incredible amount of effort in to edit like montage videos or highlight clips? You got to pick an angle that you think will work for you, and then also be smart about it. Do something that somebody else isn't doing. And I think that's the biggest mistake you could do, is look at somebody else's channel and just be like, I'm going to do what that guy's doing. It's like, no, you're going to lose to that guy because he's already huge. And if you just emulate that, then you're going to lose all your views to that guy. So you gotta be smart, and even though that the market is really big and saturated now and everybody wants to be a streamer and YouTuber, I think it's still doable as long as you're smart about it.
Right on.
Pretty solid advice.
Good advice.
Yeah.
So are there any games or media that you're looking forward to this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, Mavericks, as we talked about earlier. I'm looking forward to Hunt getting more updates to it. I want to see that game
Same
evolve
here.
and stuff. I love the idea of horror being mixed into a battle royale thing. Like, that spider freaks me out every time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
no.
though I played it a
Spider.
bunch. Super fast, and then it jumps on you, and I don't know how to stop it from jumping on me.
Even the butcher's pretty terrifying to me too, man.
Yeah, Butcher's scary because he's just huge and fast.
Yeah.
And then, like, sometimes you have an escape route planned and you get stuck on something.
Yep.
You're like, oh God, no! And then he's just on you, and you're on fire, and it's over. So I'm looking forward to seeing the evolution of Hunt Showdown. Obviously, Battlefield going to be a big game for me. Kind of curious about the next Call of Duty game. And then recently, my ears were perked by that Scavengers game because normally I'm not as big into PvE, but now that I've seen how it works in Hunt Showdown, where the PvE it can screw you over sometimes.
Yeah.
You're not aware of a pack of dogs, and you are in a firefight. All of a sudden, the PvE turns the tide, and you lose. And I've won plenty of firefights because I see my opponent getting charged by zombies, and then he has to run out, and I just nail him. I'm like, that's kind of a cool element. So you got to now mix that in to your strategy. You can't just be good at peeking corners and aiming. You got to be fully aware of your environment at all times. So it's sort of changed my opinion on integrating PvE into a PvP game mode. So I'm kind of like, oh, Scavengers, like ex-Halo and Battlefield devs working on this game, and the concept for it looks really cool so far. So kind of like, yeah, I could totally get on board with a big PvE, PvP game down the road. So I think I'm excited for that.
Right on.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds great. And to go back on what you said about the horror portion of it, I'm not normally the jump scare type or the scream, but I've ruined this guy's headphones a few times over last weekend with that game.
It's normally when there's something with the zombies where they wait for you around corners sometimes, and they'll jump right at you. It's crazy.
Yeah, and have you seen their concept art for some of the other stuff that they're working on?
No.
It looks horrifying,
Really?
man.
Oh,
There's
man.
this mutant zombie deer that's walking on its back legs through the forest, and it's huge. And people are talking about them adding in free roaming bosses to the game.
That'd be cool.
Now, how much think about how that would change the dynamic of how you move around the world if you think that there could be this giant boss that'll come out of the forest and
In the woods, right?
chase you down. That'll add a new element. So I'm just that could be really cool. I'm excited for all the horror stuff that they're working on, and it's just cool. Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a while, but yeah, I think Hunt once it turns a few corners in terms of just accessibility and matchmaking speed, and sort of matching you against people with decent pings. I ended up playing with all these people where are you from? New Zealand? Okay, I'm in California. How did that happen? It's a game of 10 players, and you put me in games with people in New Zealand. So as soon as they can get that down, nail that stuff down, make it feel less like an alpha and a little bit more like a beta, I think people will start jumping on board with it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So for our final question, because I'm sure you're busy and have things to do today, this
So
one could
busy,
be either
man.
very simple or very intricate. What do you like most about PC gaming?
I think the fidelity of it, console gaming has got the benefits of less cheaters. Everybody's sort of playing on an equal playing field. We all got controllers and stuff like that, but it also lacks the power and the fidelity of the resolution and better sound systems and all this kind of stuff that you get with PC gaming. And PC's always been on the forefront of stuff, the difference between PUBG on PC and console is night and day. It's almost laughable trying to compare the experience between the two. And so, it's not like I've never gamed on console. I got consoles and stuff, and I grew up playing Sega and Nintendo and whatnot. But they're always going to be pioneering on PC. I've seen very few console games that have pioneered genres. Not to say that it hasn't happened, but in terms of especially multiplayer gaming, which is what my main fixation is, I think it's always going to be on the PC side. You're always going to see the cool innovation on PC first, and then it will come to consoles. So if you want the high fidelity experience first, it feels like you got to be on PC to get that. Of course you got the price there, but if you're a serious gamer, like anything, it's like people spend thousands of bucks tricking out their cars and stuff.
True.
Yeah.
If you're into gaming,
That's
it's a lot cheaper to be a gamer than it is to be a car enthusiast or other things. So people are always like, "Oh man, your PC cost how much?" And it's like, "Yeah, but you know what? That's what I do with my spare time. That's what I put my money into." So
Investment.
if you're a serious
investment, it's
gamer,
your
then I
hobby.
think PC gaming's definitely something that can be available to anyone.
Looks like you might have frozen. Oh, there you go.
Oh no.
Well, that's
There
it,
you go.
LevelCap, man. Thank you so much for being on the show. Right now, the floor is yours, my friend. Tell people where to find you. Tell people where to follow you.
Oh, did we lose it?
I can kind of hear you. You said the floor is mine. Oh no.
Oh, yeah, you're breaking in and out.
You guys have come.
Are you in? Are you there?
You guys want to call me back? Oh wait, I can see you now, kind of.
Yeah, I see you clearing up, too. I think there was a connection issue.
Yeah, bad hop or something, man.
Are you good now?
Oh no. Not really. Oh man.
I think we might
Yeah, do you guys want to call me back?
be losing net connection on this side. I think it's our network over here. We might be getting pile drive
Okay,
right
wait.
now.
I see you guys now. I see you guys.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
good.
So tell people where to find you. Tell people
Okay.
where to follow you.
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is youtube.com/LevelCapGaming. You can follow me on Twitter at LevelCapGaming on Twitter, Facebook, LevelCapGaming, Twitch is /LevelCap. And I also got a Lego channel, youtube.com/BrickVaults, and been having a lot of fun with that. If you happen to be an adult fan of Legos or a child fan of Legos, we make a lot of cool content out there. So yeah, if you want tutorial videos that focus around first-person shooters and cool gameplay, stuff like that, you can check me out on YouTube.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Charlie, man. I see your old Origin PC back there.
I know. That one's going to the Lego studio, I think,
Nice.
in the near future.
How you liking your new
editing
one?
upgrade, man? Oh man, dude, the new one's great. I've been just loading up like every game that I own, and it's just like, like 30 more FPS in this game now.
awesome.
So that's been fun. I want to jump back on Planet Side 2 and see if I can actually
Oh.
play that game with high graphics settings,
Probably
because
could.
you never could back when it was around.
Yeah.
Because it was just one of those games. It's like, yeah, if I want to play at 30 FPS, I can crank the graphics all the way. So I kind of want to like jump back and like see what it can run. Crisis on ultra settings and stuff.
Right on. Yeah, thanks, Charlie, man. You're awesome. Thank you
Really
so much for
appreciate you.
everything you do for us. You're an amazing person. Have a great
Thank
weekend,
you
my man.
guys, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Take care.
Enjoy the weekend and enjoy Joe Rogan, man. I'm jealous.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we're gonna
So
have fun.
excited.
See you, dude.
All right, guys. See ya.
Okay.
All right, up next is Ask Origin PC. Big thank you to LevelCap Gaming. Up next, Ask Origin PC. Hopefully you've been asking questions in chat. Lewis has been taking those questions, and now he's going to feed them to us. I bet you anything that the PewDiePie video came up, and that's why our stuff's dropping right
Yeah.
now. I apologize for the drop frames. What questions do we got, Lewis? All right. Paranoia PK asks, hey, at Origin PC, why do you think the internet cafe scene in Florida is so horrible, i.e. mostly gambling places? That's a great question, man. We used to have an internet cafe that we
Yeah.
go to all the time. I honestly think the death of internet cafes was high-speed internet.
Yeah.
Because once
definitely.
people had awesome PCs at home that they can connect really, really quickly to other players, the whole premise of LAN parties and stuff kind of died out. Because that was back in my day. The reason I used to go to LAN parties was to get that super hot, like 0 ping
Yeah.
or like 14 ping. You were like, oh my god! And now you get that with your internet connection.
That was one of my favorite things to do too, man. It wasn't just the high speed also, but you go with your friends, you're in the same room,
Right.
eating, drinking, and having fun. You get to actually see the people that you're putting down.
Yeah, exactly.
Shooting all the people around you, but I do miss those days. There used to be quite a few down here.
Yeah, there used to be a bunch. There was one at Sunset Place. There was one, the one that we used to go to right near here. But yeah, they all died out. I've always thought like that would be such a cool business idea, but then I think to myself like, there's a reason those other ones went away. So it's probably not the best idea to do down here. It's sad. I don't think our gaming community down here in Florida is as big as other places either. I think that might have something to do with it. Zigapot, I can't say your name. Yes, do you do budget PCs? So we have 2 entry-level PCs. We have our Kronos and our Neuron, which are pretty, for for the desktop side, and then on our laptop side, the Eon 15S. We don't do budget per se because everything we do is in the high end. So whenever a new piece of technology comes out, we automatically dissolve the old piece of technology. But that's our entry level stuff. Can you talk about Sea of Thieves? That game's gonna be pretty cool. That's another one I'm kind of interested in. I think they still got to work a bit on content. I think they need a little bit more content in the game from what I've seen from the streams. But the game itself looks like a lot of fun. I can't wait to like just do pirate songs with my friends. Like that's all I really want to do.
Really get into character. That's going to be fun.
Yeah, exactly. You want to read this next one?
I'll take this one.
Go for it.
Do you know if Bleak has ever played Parallel Kingdom? I seriously just noticed his name and it's the same as someone I knew. So was it Dee Bleak or Bleak? Unfortunately, no, I've never played that game. I will have to check it out, though. I'll have to check that out now.
Parallel Kingdom. When will the survival Hunger Games fad end? What's next? Does Kuzi use beard oil? Yes, I haven't in a while, but yes, I normally use beard oil. When will that survival genre end? I hope never. Oh, wait. Is that Lord Griffin? That's my boy. Griffin, you son of a gun. I love you, buddy. I don't think it'll end, dude. That's like our favorite genre. Yeah. Why are you even talking crap about it? You and I have played that genre quite often. But yeah, I think that that's a genre that's going to keep going on for some time. It's a fun genre. I like the idea of having to survive the environment plus the enemies out there.
Yeah.
And full loot and everything.
PvP and
yeah,
you got yourself a
full loot and everything I play. Moving forward, I'd be a very happy man. Origin PC, what's your most favorite COD game of all time? World War II. I had such a good time with it. I'm still enjoying it. I'll jump on PlayStation every now and again to play some. I think that was my favorite. Honestly, way before that was the Medal of Honor series were always a ton of fun. But really, World War II has been such a blast. I'm really enjoying it. Modern Warfare was great, of course. That's the obvious answer. But yeah, that's it. And that's it for the questions. Thank you guys. That was a nice little set. Up next, post of the week. So last week's topic was your smart home device has taken over the world. How do you stop it? We received several different methods of stopping our AI overlords, but we could I just read that for the first time. But we could only pick one. That would be Michael Washington on Facebook, who wrote, "OrDBC, tell it to solve for pi. That should keep it occupied for a while." Thank you, Michael. That's an awesome answer. Much love. Congratulations. Please reach out to us on Facebook via the message portion so we could send that code to you. Congratulations on winning a copy of Shroud of the Avatar. Tom, what is next week's topic?
So for next week's topic, it will be which celebrity would you like to play a PC game with, and what game would you play and why? Examples include playing Doom with The Rock, Gears of War 4 with Run the Jewels, which would be mine, or World of Warcraft with Henry Cavill. Make sure to use the hashtag OriginPCLive with your response, and we'll be picking the post of the week on the next episode.
Don't forget to do the and why part. That's where the creativity comes in.
Yes, definitely.
And that's where we would pick you as a winner. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's episode of Origin PC Live. It's been an absolute pleasure. You guys are all amazing people. Do not forget to sign up to our giveaways. www.originpc.com/PewDiePie for the worldwide Evo 15S giveaway. Don't forget to sign up for the Intel Rig Challenge by voting for us on Twitter. Just tweet out my hashtag Intel Rig Challenge. Vote is for @OriginPC. Make sure to tag us. You can vote daily for your chance to win multiple prizes, including Oculus Rift headsets. Make sure to follow Origin PC across all social media. That's @OriginPC on every single platform you can think of. Thank you so much to everyone that showed up today. Thank you for all the votes so far in the Intel Rig Challenge. We are doing fantastic thanks to you guys. We love you, Origin PC family. Have a fantastic weekend. Love yourselves and love one another. Adios, amigos.
I can't be alone.